Charlie, how are you, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Just great.
Welcome to the Behind the Brand podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me.
How you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Got chocolate?
Oh, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I got coffee, but how's that?
Oh, that's solid.
Bro, I try to get it as hot as it can be so that it could long last throughout this whole podcast.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to drink it.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, just grateful to be here. Thank you for the opportunity for having me on. So thank you, man. It's good to see you again as well.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
We're just talking for those out there that are tuning into the podcast. The very first time I met Charlie was playing, I think it was tag or touch or something like that.
Ostag.
Yeah, Oztag. So Fairfield against
Caramel.
Karama. I'll be honest, bro. You guys were a bunch of dogs. I'm just being honest, bro. I'm just being honest.
Hey, well, I'm not the dog. Man. Like, some of my teammates were a bit. How's it
Bro,
going? But...
bro, I remember like back in front, bro. This is like, we're going way back, bro. We're going like probably 15 years, 20 years,
Oh, man.
so to speak. But I remember like whenever we versed you, bro, whether it was touch, whether it was Oztag, bro, even like softball. Bro, I remember visiting your school, bro, at Carroll Park. Oh, bro.
It's not the one, huh?
I was like, bro, you guys, the way I see it is like, bro, you guys are like, I don't know, I would consider you guys, what, the Storms? Like in
Paying
a
off
row?
the ref.
Yeah, we're just like, bro, you're just paying off the ref, bro. How did you guys win, man?
Oh, man.
Those are the days, eh?
Honestly, I don't even know how we won half the time. We had not gonna lie, we had a good team, but like I was just there just to muck around and have a good time. So
Yeah.
oh man, good times, huh?
Yeah, bro. That's funny. That was like, I thought about it, bro. That's probably the last time I probably seen you. But I've watched your journey through social media, and that's one thing I love about social media is that you get the opportunity to, I guess, see a different side of other people's life.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely keen to get into like your story, and to get into Charlie Brown photography, and really show to the people, I guess, some of the things that people don't see.
Yeah.
Behind the lens.
Yeah.
And so to get us started, bro, Charlie, can you just tell us a few hundred words or so, and just introduce yourself?
Yep.
To the people out there that are listening.
Hello everyone. My name is Charlie Brown. I'm a photographer based out in Western Sydney. I'm of Samoan descent. And I've only been doing photography for probably like a year and a bit. And basically I do both photography and videography. But so I do both, but I do primarily make myself seen as a photographer. Just so people don't get confused for when they see video content on my side, they'll be like, "Oh, can you film this?" I was like, "Oh, no, sorry, like I'm a photographer. That's on my profile as well." But yeah, that's basically what I've been up to at the moment, really. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you mentioned like Charlie Brown photography. Like I'm the same too with the cars visuals. Like obviously when you see the visuals, it's like oh that's videography like focused.
Yeah.
I can do photos.
Yeah.
But I'm more like the videography side of things.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you mentioned that too, because you've definitely been getting a lot of reach outs from people wanting to do videos, right?
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I'm just like, oh, nah, I can't do it. I was like, I usually do tell them, I'm only a photographer and photographer only. I only do the video side just for my content, not for anyone else's.
Yeah.
Unless they like paid me or whatever, or if I feel like I want to do it, then yeah. But other than that, primarily it's just photos, and then I can just post up like random clips just to get the engagement and to like I guess showcase what else I can do. But at the moment, photography is my main bread and butter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so what made you choose photography over videography? I know that a lot of people got their reasons.
Yeah.
For example, I had a wedding that I just shot probably a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And I had a conversation with the photographers, and I said, okay, what's your reasoning as to why? And I don't know if this might be the same to you, but their reasoning was that it's just easier. Like photography is just like a lot more easier. There's not much work you have to put in compared to like doing the videography side of things.
Yeah.
So that was their reason. What's your reason as to why you chose photography?
I think it's because I just prefer to do photography because when I picked up a camera back in uni, so around 2015, and so they were having all these events, the community events and then the uni events as well. And so what I did was I just can I just borrow the camera and take photos? And so I just started snapping the photos, snapping
So
away.
you borrowed the Uni's one?
Yeah, the uni's camera, yeah. And since I was with Path as well, they're like, oh yeah, come take photos. And so I just took photos for the love of it, and then slowly throughout the years of being at uni and taking photos at those events, I really enjoyed it. And I didn't even have to edit any of the photos. And obviously some of the photos that I took back then are not as good as I took the photos of like now.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I chose photography is just because then that's what came to me first. And I think having having that option is really good as well. But honestly, just photography just feels like it was made for me. And I can do the videos, I can learn it, but not right now. Yeah, I think my main priority is just to learn the ins and outs of photography and make a household name of myself. Like, so people will be, oh yeah, he does this, that. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, one thing I will say is that although you're trying to build towards being a household name, like in my opinion, you already are. Like you're already there. And this is coming from a guy that has been like started off as a hobby, using iPhone 4s and all that stuff, like trying to take photos and videos, to now having my own business myself. Like coming from me and watching your journey, like, and you know what, everyone has their different metrics on how they'll define being a household name.
Yeah.
But to me, I definitely see you as one of the main guys that I see on, especially in the Western Sydney area, and that's what Behind the Brand's all about. Uncovering the layers behind the businesses and brands within Western Sydney.
Yeah.
And so, I personally would say that you're there in terms of being a household name. What's your thoughts on that?
Gonna make me cry.
Yeah, that's just something that I knew that this would be the right time to share that. First of all, because I've been watching your journey, I've been following your journey since, and I'm gonna bring it up later on. The iPad days.
Yeah. Oh, love my iPad days.
Yeah.
That was my vlogging days
The
too.
iPad vlogging days, and I'm definitely gonna ask questions about that later on. But
of course.
Yeah, looking at where you went from there to now being, well, first of all, actually having your own camera versus borrowing the Uni's one.
Yeah, they're hard. They're probably got angry at me for it.
Yeah, but how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel knowing that? I myself see that, but I know there's a lot of people out there that would see the same too. That you're definitely a household name in the industry.
Honestly, it's just, I guess, blessed. I think just having someone say that, it kind of like lifts the morale of the person that they're saying it to, and plus it kind of keeps you, like, obviously it gives you a good like boost in like confidence and everything as well. But I guess in saying that, you can also just turn it around and be like, find a way to keep yourself humble as well. So yeah, obviously I can be confident about it. But honestly, like you said, I really do appreciate the compliment as well. Thank you. I will get there when I believe myself that I'm a household name. Honestly, that's a really good confidence booster. So thank you.
Nah, man, and I know that, I know from being in the similar industry, I definitely believe that there are a lot of other creators out there that need to be told that you're doing the right thing and just keep going. So yeah, thought I would not wait till after. I'll just tell you now, show to the public out there. But yeah, man, so we've kind of did, you've introduced yourself, you kind of, given yourself a bit of an idea as to why you choose photography as opposed to videography. And right now I just wanted to do a mini icebreaker just to kind of set the tone for the main kind of meat of our podcast episode. And yeah, I got just a random question, and it's got to do with your gear.
Okay.
Right? And so the icebreaker question is, if you were to lose all your gear and start over, what gear would Charlie invest in first and why?
I think...
So let's say you can get rid of everything.
Yeah.
Right? And restart. And you have an opportunity to just invest in that one gear.
Yeah.
What would it be?
So everything all separate? Like say like the camera, then the
So
lens.
yeah. So let's say, all right, we'll if you're gonna get a camera, right, we'll just piece it together.
Yeah.
So you can put the lens and the
Yeah.
body together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how would you
Ooh.
start with your first key?
Honestly, I think I would get a laptop. I'll go for the laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, and then it'll be easier for me.
So
to
let me guess, you're
yeah.
gonna use a laptop and you're gonna vlog with your magic.
I'll grab the laptop and just move around
Like, bro,
this.
talking about the iPads,
Oh,
iPad
man.
days. Imagine having a laptop and trying to vlog.
Oh,
Bro, that would be so sick. Like starting off there
yeah.
and then having that as like your transformation story.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
started vlogging with my laptop and then I vlogged with my iPad and then went from my phone and now I've got this mad like production.
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Beast.
Imagine that, but oh my days.
Yeah. So laptop.
I think I'll go laptop just because then, obviously, like, I can get the camera first or whatever. But if I get the laptop, I can just look on the full cameras easier.
Yeah.
on the laptop, so yeah.
But you'd also say too that laptops like quite universal.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a hub that you can bring everything in.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed too, if I ever had to like lose my gear,
Yeah.
I can still use my phone.
Yeah.
And that's the power of like the phones nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah, that's very interesting, man. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Laptop. What type of laptop?
the Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you currently have now?
No, I'm actually using. I think it's a Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's my partner's, cause then the Mac that I had, I kind of broke. So.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. But that's humbling, bro. It's humbling to see where you've come from. And I'm glad that you mentioned laptops because, bro, we got a new laptop for you. No.
Oh, sweet!
We got a new laptop
so I would have cried, man.
for you, bro. That would have been like, that's Mr. Beast, bro,
Yeah, that's
right
Mr.
there.
Beast, just
Mr. Beast would be like, here,
honestly.
bro, here's a giveaway, here's money, here's the laptop, here's iPads.
Man. Oh, man. That would have cracked me up.
Like, oh, psych, bro, psych.
Oh, man.
Yeah, nah, but bro, I'm definitely keen to get into like your story and stuff. And I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you as we start getting into like the Meet Behind Our podcast
Yep.
episode is Charlie Brown Photography.
Mm.
Tell us where that all started. So you mentioned that it started at uni, 2015.
Yeah.
You were doing a bit of like some past stuff, and you borrowed the you borrowed the uni's camera.
Yeah.
Started taking some photos. Didn't have to edit, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
That's probably the best part is
Yeah,
just
exactly.
being
No
a shooter,
editing. Yeah, just shoot it.
videos, and then just send
Then
it.
just go.
Yeah, done. So you done that, but if you had to kind of peel the layers out, where would you say Charlie Brown Photography really started?
I guess my first start would be probably maybe 2019.
Okay.
I guess. So 2019, people found out that I had a camera because I bought one for my birthday at the time, and so I ended up just taking photos for like a few people, and then they'll pay me like $200, and I was like, oh, sweet as, like,
Yeah.
that's money.
Mm.
And so I think after that, I took a break as well, and then I didn't want to use my camera because I lost it. It was at a university event. The irony of that, man. I lost it at an event because there was free drinks there, and so I kind of left my camera on the train. Oh man, makes you cry just thinking about it sometimes. And then after that, so fast forward, say to around 2021, and so that's when I ended up buying the Canon 1500D.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just kept it there. I'll use it every now and then, and people still pay me whatever. And then say 2 years ago, that's when I got a call up. I got a call up from one of the organizers of Pacificast. So his name's Junes. So shout out to Junes. You're the one that got me started. And so he was like, oh yeah, do you want to come shoot at our last cruise? And so early on that year, I did message him, but then he was already with the Tour Samoa group. And then they were like, he couldn't really reply because they didn't have any internet coverage over there. So I was like, all right, all good. And he messaged me. I was already at a 60th birthday. And then I got the call when they were doing their prayer. And I was like, oh, shucks. And so he was like, yeah, come through. And I was like, all right, cool. And so rushed from Penrith all the way to the city. I shot, and he was like saying, okay, maybe you should make a page about your photography stuff. And I was like, maybe. I was a little bit iffy about making my own page, because then I already had my personal page and I could have just posted it on there.
Yeah.
But he was like, just give it a go, and you never know what's gonna happen. And so later on, I think the next day, that's when I made the page. I made the announcement both on my personal pages on both Facebook and Instagram. And then just I don't know, after I started posting up stuff, it just shot up.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell's happening? So I just kept on posting and
Yeah.
posting. And then like a few of my friends, like JT, PT Media, Tavea Cena Visuals as well, they were like, finally, you took your time. And same for Lethal Paradise as well. It's like, took your time, G, like from your vlogging with your iPad. With my iPad and everything. It's like, right, finally, welcome. And I was like, it was a really good experience, and very humbling to have like so many of these other creators like finally like welcoming me to the scene. And so after that, I kept on asking questions as well. So I asked like Scene First Photography, I asked Moe the director from Q Crew, and all these other like creators and people as well, just so then I can have like a little, like you said, like a little hub. And so at least I know that there's people that I can talk to and I can ask, just for their advice and for their expertise, because as you already know, you can't really do much if you don't ask for help. So because you really do need the help, especially in the creative scene as well. We do try and push each other to to be great, but if you are struggling, I think it's really good to have people that you can talk to as well. So shout out to Junes and everyone that I just mentioned. Number one. But yeah, so I guess the beginning would be shout out to Junes, because he's the one that got me started.
Yeah, got you started in this whole
journey.
Charlie Band Photography.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And yeah, big shout out to the people like Junes, Pacific Cast. But even you mentioned like a few like household. If we talk about household names, those are definitely the household names. Yeah, you got Moe, Q Crew. I've seen her first. I actually met her. She was the one I met at the wedding.
Oh, she's buzzing.
Yeah. So she was doing that, and yeah, man. Like I definitely agree with you, man. And I'll bring that up about the hub, having that group of people, and just imagine you not having that.
Yeah.
Like the people that kind of surround you and get you along the way. So yeah, massive shout out to Junes. Good on you, bro, because you wouldn't be the person that you are now, eh? Like Charlie Band Photography actually ignited.
Yeah.
Which essentially that's how a business usually starts. Like it starts as a side hustle, or not even a side hustle, just starts as a passion and a hobby, and then it goes into something that you can gain some sort of profit, and then it's become like a full-time business.
Yeah.
Which is pretty inspiring, knowing that you're literally halfway there.
Yeah.
To the point where you can actually take it, full time. And so you've shared a bit about where it all started. My next question for you is, what actually inspired you to get into like photography?
You're not gonna like the answer, because I got bored.
Yeah?
I got bored.
Yeah.
I was like, because I was already streaming at the time as well, so I stream games as well. And so I was like, no, I might as well do something with the camera. And I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up, and I just started taking photos. So basically that's, I guess, the main reason why I started it.
It was just boring.
I was just bored.
Just bored.
It's so random. Yeah. It's like, there was nothing like really inspirational about it. For me, I was just like, I got a camera, why not? And then just take photos.
That's crazy, because I think from what I'm hearing, it started at a boredom, but the meaning started to come later on. like as you started doing it? Was there any moments during your photography journey where you're like, okay, this is the reason why I do what I do?
Um, Honestly, like, I think it just came to a point where like I wasn't really thinking about um like the moments and everything. I think in my head I was just like, I think there was just a switch that flipped, and it was like, yeah, now you can like you got to do this full time now.
Mm.
And so I don't know. I think I didn't really have that much emotion towards it, but like I did enjoy seeing the moments and seeing people be emotional
Yeah.
and everything like that. But I don't think I did get emotionally invested in the beginning. So I think I had to wait it out a little bit, and so I think it just organically just slowly seeped in, and then that's when I just started caring more and more, and then trying to provide a respectable a respectful, I guess, business, so people can come to, and they know that they're not to get like crazily charged
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm not comfortable with that.
Like overcharging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that. So not where I'm at right now. I don't like the prices that I feel like that I've set now. That's pretty cheap regardless. Like so, but other than that, it is what it is. Like I can't be like upselling to other people or saying you should get my services. I'm not the kind of person, and I don't want that for my business and my brand. My brand is if you want to come,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to come and like inquire about my services. And if you don't want my services, that's perfectly fine. There's always another creative photographer, videographer for you, and so I can always like even lead you to that direction as well, because I have no stress about it. So I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the, I guess, people I'll talk to, I'll be like, oh, what's the reason why you do what you do? Like, business-wise.
Yeah.
Spoken to some PTs, spoken to DJs, even spoken to creators.
Yeah.
And they always have this, like, story, and it's usually, like, an emotional, like, investment or attachment to it.
Yeah.
But the funny thing I found with you, man, is that there's not really an emotional attachment that you had with photography, but it was something that you just started and you've just kind of had that role in.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting, man, because like, usually everyone has that, like, I guess, extra bit of motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
But you've been doing it since 2019. And so...
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, right? And we're in 2024 now, so it's been quite a long time since you've been doing it. So if it's not an emotional attachment, what do you feel like is keeping you going? Is it just to
honestly,
prove it to yourself, or...
I think I think the reason why I keep going, I guess I could say I'm just doing it, just for my partner's sake as well.
Yeah.
Because she did say that she didn't want me to lose any of the things that she, that made her fall in love with me. So I think that's a big thing, for me as well.
Yeah.
She doesn't want me to lose the passion and like everything that made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So I think that's one. And yeah, honestly, I think that's the only one that I can think of right now. Actually,
yeah, that's very interesting, man. Because like, I'm just real surprised because I'm always like, oh, I want to hear the story. I want to hear like the reason why, and the fact that your reasoning is so simple, which is your partner. Someone that actually believed in you and someone that actually fell in love with you, not just for you, but also for like what you did. And wants to continue pushing that, man. That's something different, man. Like I'm not really I haven't really heard that from anyone. To have that, usually someone has a story, right? Like this, like real emotional story. Grew up nothing, now come with something.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just love how it's so simple. And you know what? This is like something that I'm observing because I've followed your journey for a while.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I mentioned iPad days, you kind of already knew straight away. Like, oh snap, this guy knows. Like. The vlogs I used to do, which I'm gonna definitely talk to like very soon because like that's something. Oh, bro.
Oh man.
Once you said iPad, once you said that like you were recording iPad, I said, bro, I gotta ask the questions, man, on that. But we'll definitely get into it very soon. But yeah, just going back and even just thinking about, where you started and and where you are now, it's definitely different. It's something different. I haven't really had that conversation with someone. So, but one thing I am observing is that because Charlie is such a like simple guy, a lot of the things that he would do with like his clients and doing the work, it's much more easier. Only reason why is because it's not really much of an emotional investment. It's kind of like I just go do my job.
Yeah.
You know, someone asked me to do photography.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have that emotional like investment into it.
Yeah.
But it's more like logical. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do it for you, and then I'll just take the photos.
Yeah.
That's what I'm observing. Is that something that you can resonate with?
Yeah. My partner does say that I'm the logical one in the relationship, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But I guess I think it's good to like obviously I'm not saying it's bad to be emotionally invested, but the way I see this business as just another job.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
And like obviously I have my work hours as well.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to go above and beyond for it because because if I keep on doing that, like with enough clients, I'm gonna be burnt out.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't want to have as a creative, because if you start getting burnt out, like you slowly start losing the passion.
That's true.
I don't want to lose the passion. I just want it to always be there, and then I can slowly keep on building and building, and just creating something that I know that I'm gonna enjoy, as a brand and business. So
yeah. I love that, man. It's definitely something different. Like you're probably like one of the first guys that I've got on here where you've had a different approach to why you do what you do, and it's not really much of an emotional thing, but it's more like it's just a job that I got to do.
Yeah.
Which like I'm learning through my own experience with TKV and doing my creative side of things. I'm more of an emotional guy. Like I have that emotional investment, but it can take a toll on you when that starts to die out.
Yeah.
Like when you're not getting those like certain types of like emotional like feedback. Someone saying, "Oh, bro, like I love what you done, bro." Like it's like make me cry. Like I actually got I ended up sending out today, my very first wedding gig, outside of family.
Oh, wow.
So I've done some family ones, and I got some good feedback from there, and then that kind of inspired me to like, all right, I want to do like a proper wedding.
Yeah.
And so I had one of my clients that I worked with a couple weeks ago. Ended up sending it last night, and then I got the response today, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm pulling my eyes out and stuff," and I'm like, "Okay, not gonna lie, like that gives me like a little bit of a thrill."
Yeah.
And so like that's what I do in my business,
Yeah.
and that's what kind of keeps you going.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that for you, it's kind of like the opposite of like it's just something that you see as a job.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just different, and I love that. I love that it's different to what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and like my partner, like she's like, "Oh yeah, you're just very chill about it."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
But you know what? I think that's always been you.
Yeah.
Like I know back in, it's funny just from what I had known who you were, because it's funny. My brother.
You can't be on 24/7.
Yeah.
You physically can't, because that's a sure way to get burnt out. And like I said, I don't want that for anyone really in any creative space. I don't want them to get burnt out, because a lot of businesses and like creatives, they do get burnt out and then they don't continue, and it's unfortunate, because I want to see more creatives do what they do, and because it's nice to see their journey and to see how they work. And you can also get tips even from the beginners too. I still consider myself as an amateur. And then my mate's like, "Nah, you're not." And I'm like, "Yeah." I still feel like I am. I still feel like I am. But he's like, "Nah, you need to market yourself now as a professional." I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I love that though. I love that you have that you still carry that humility, but at the same time, you're like, no, I am confident enough to know that I can get the job done.
Yeah.
At the same time, you never try to like output yourself, over everyone else, and try and let your ego take control. A question on that too is that something that I guess you were brought up in? Like, was that like a family thing that kind of instilled that into you? Like, where did that side of the humility come from?
Ooh. Honestly, like, no, that's like obviously like or like my family, like we're all a little bit different, I guess. But my family saw me as like the golden child.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, nah. So I think like growing up, I was a little bit mischievous.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, just yeah, the person that I am now is completely different from me when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So, but I think I just started to mature and be like, yeah, nah, enough's enough. Like, I think I had to say that to myself. Enough's enough. You gotta grow up, but doesn't mean that you can lose the qualities that made you who you are. So, I may be mature, but I'm still like a little bit cheeky every now and then. Like, very chill, very easy, going with the flow kind of person that I am. And I think that's really good to not lose and to just be fun with the wind, I guess.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've seen, like, even just through your content and like your personality, I know that you kind of like are like a free bird, if they'll consider that. Which is funny because that's something that from a creative standpoint helps. Like creatively.
Yeah.
Is to kind of be out, kind of have that bit of outgoingness and I guess explore outside the bubble, or what they'll call like outside the box.
Yeah. But like, I think just as a creative, just trying to like find your way out. I think that's a good way to be more creative. Because then obviously like we're all stuck in like the one box that everyone puts us in one box.
Yeah.
But if we all find our own way outside of the box, I think that would help us not just as a creator but as a person. It would be like, oh, maybe I can do this way, or maybe I can like take some bits and pieces from what they're doing and then make it into my own. And so I think just having that option to be free, I think that's a good way to just stay creative and perfect your craft, I guess. So,
yeah, because if you stick to the structure, or if you try to, I guess, mimic everyone else that like trying to be the next Peter McKinnon or the next Moe, Q Crew, like if you're doing the exact same thing, then where does the authenticity come in for you to be like, oh, where's your kind of added flow? Which I love about your work too, man, is that like you can definitely tell like that without your logo that's your work. Have you noticed that? Like, have you noticed from some of the content that you've done for other
if I didn't see it, but like I didn't see the logo or whatever, then I would know it's my content. Especially for like my mic'd up stuff.
Bro. And that's okay. Let's just get into the market stuff, bro. The amount of like times I've seen that on my page, and this is what I like. The one thing I loved about like what you're doing is just the power of consistency. Like, bro, you're probably like one of the guys I see consistently. Like, and if it's not your work, it's your work. As in, if it's not your personal page, it's like a client's work that I'm looking. I'm like, I know. Sure, I was like, bro, that's Charlie.
Yeah.
That's Charlie Red Photography, even though it's a video.
I don't know. Like I said, it's all like the reason. Since we're talking about that, since I do those mic'd up videos, I only did those videos to help out my friends out at TRL Western Sydney. And so that was their first comp last year, and I was like, you know what, I might as well practice my photography and then maybe chuck in some videos stuff. And so I ended up buying a mic, a wireless Rode Go mic, and I bought a lavalier as well.
One or two?
One. Was it one? It was one of them. I think it was one. Yeah. I think it was one. And then
interesting.
And then I bought the lavalier mic, and then I brought it along with me one day. I was like, do you want to get mic'd up? And then that's how it started. And then literally that's how it started. How I made the content. So obviously I did like those little highlight videos for TRL, just to get my practice. But that was when I was using the 1500D, and that's not really good with with videos. That's only more primarily a photographer, just photography camera, very entry level.
It's not really much a hybrid
Yeah.
like type of camera where you can have the best of both
Yeah.
worlds. Yeah.
And I was perfectly fine with that. I was like, I made it work, and I think that was really good with what, how I could learn more when I did upgrade. Because when I did upgrade, I didn't actually get the upgraded. I got gifted the upgrade.
Aha.
Yeah, and so obviously grateful to my boy Marcayo. If you are ever listening to this or seeing the video, I love you also. But yeah, so he gifted me his Canon 200D Mark II.
Wow.
And then after that, that's when I first created Mic'd Up with Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I just posted, and then just haven't posted anything since. So, got to make sure that family lives are all good.
Yeah.
I mean, just moving in, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you guys haven't been seeing my content, guys. I swear. I'm sorry. It'll be coming out soon. Okay, trust.
No, but this is actually, I think it's actually a perfect like point for you to be on here, like on this podcast, because it definitely gives you a bit of like time to reflect, but also it kind of gives people like an understanding that you do have a personal life that you got to balance out.
Yeah.
So it's really good that you're kind of acknowledging that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just going back to the TRL stuff, because that's when like once I started seeing that pop up, because even though too, bro, it was popping up on like. I don't know if TRL was sponsoring, like kind of putting ads on that, but it started popping everywhere.
Oh, probably
and then,
not.
And then I was just like, oh, bro, that's what I knew. I was like, oh no, it's definitely Charlie's, it's your work. But yeah, just wanted to go back behind that. So mic'd up with like Charlie Brown. That is definitely something that I've seen a lot of people like they're either sharing or putting out there. What have you learned through doing that, like through doing the mic'd up stuff? Because that's definitely something that is quite, or I guess is growing in terms of, I'm not just talking about like the Touch Rugby League stuff, but also like OzTag and all that stuff. Like everyone's kind of like slowly getting into mic'd up. But what have you actually learned through the process? Do you believe that there is a, I guess, do you believe that there is a need there? Like, do you see a lot of people like wanting to jump on board and get mic'd up?
Yeah, because then I've had like a few people message me and be like, oh, maybe you should come film our like just our local games and like get this guy mic'd up. And then some guy messaged me. He was like saying, oh yeah, you, Josh Schuster's playing touch with us. Come mic him up. I was like, I was like, what? I don't even think he wants to be annoyed. He's just there just to play football or whatever. That's perfectly fine. But I think I have seen a lot of other people like doing their own takes, and that's what I love. Like I love people doing their own spin on like obviously I'm not the first one that started it. I just put it out there, and then people can see what's possible and what they can do and make it their own. And like how I edit and how I do the videos, they're very simple.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I just only put the funny bits.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I put in the good bits as well. But most of the time, it's just funny bits, because then you can't, like I said, I'm very chill, and like I thought it was funny. And if I'm gonna put a funny moment in, I'd rather put a funny moment in over like a cool moment.
Yeah.
Like funny for me is the way I feel like it's gonna get engagement.
Which it does.
And it does.
Yeah.
Grateful. Just had somebody comment on it and be like, "Why is she breathing heavily?" I was like, I don't know, bro. I know, you ask her yourself. She's tagged. She's literally tagged in the video. Like, you can go and tell her yourself. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, like I think how I filmed it as well. At one point, I did have my tripod, but I lost my bottom plate.
Oh no!
And I'm like, oh no!
That's always
I lost it, and I'm like, no.
It's funny, like people don't know from a creative standpoint, like. Okay, you've lost the bottom plate. You can go get a new one. The only thing is, how can you get a new one when, let's say, the tripod no longer exists?
Yeah.
So you probably have to just buy another tripod, or
that's money that I need, bro. That's money that I need. Oh man, but yeah. So after I lost it, I had to hand hold everything, and I was like, bruh, like what is this? So. The thing is, with the mic'd up videos, I do film vertically.
Yeah.
And so I just go like that,
Mm.
and then I just make sure my arms are like close to my body.
This is a tip, guys. You know, this is
Yeah.
tips with Charlie Brown.
Make sure your arms are like around a 90-degree angle, and then keep it close to your body, and then you just like,
Yeah.
it's like you're doing a Kamehameha. If any of you guys see Dragon Ball Z, just oh. Well, yeah, that's how I held the camera, and then for the first videos I did have them mic'd up with a lavalier mic, and then I'll just either attach it to their shirt or whatever. But I did find a little bit of trouble with keeping the actual transmitter or receiver attached to their shorts, and so I had to make sure that they put it like near the side, so I can still be able to hear the audio, but it doesn't have a chance of falling off, or like somebody grabbing it and be like, oh no, I grabbed the mic, and they break it and then they have to pay it.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think I tried it to do without the lavalier mic, and so if they were wearing a hat, then I just attach it to the hat, or if they were female, then they can just attach it to themselves. So with their inside their bra, so like I'll look away, obviously.
Yeah, just chuck it
it's
in.
like, yeah, you can chuck it in yourself. And so obviously, like with that kind of stuff as well, I try to be respectful as well, not just for their sake, but for my partner's sake. So,
Yeah.
because then she sees the stuff that I do, so, and I don't want her everything.
Yeah, it's about integrity.
So,
yeah, definitely being the same person you are outside as you are in. Yeah. But you know, it's funny. That's exactly the reason why I said interesting.
Yeah.
When I asked, when you shared that you had the Rode Wireless Go, and you said, "Oh, it's only the first," I was like, "What the heck?" Because like I was thinking the same thing too, and like we're geeking out here, so let us geek out. But in my mind, I was like, because I've done like mic up content, or that's kind of what I do.
Yeah,
like
I've
the
seen
mic,
stuff.
yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah, bro. So that's why I was asking you, because like, I've seen some of the stuff. I'm like, bro, that's actually quite far.
Yeah.
Like, and I've done some like content too, and in my head I'm like, bro, does this guy have the two? Like, if he has the two, then that makes sense. But the fact that you have like the Rode Wireless Go, just the first one.
Yeah, well, honestly, I'll probably need to go back, because then I don't pay attention to it. Like, I just saw Wireless Go, and I was like, oh, cool.
Do you have two, or do you have one?
Two.
No, yeah. So you have the pair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's a two then.
Oh,
yeah.
Well.
But even at two, like, because even the Wireless Go 2, it still has that like part where it cuts off.
Yeah, that ranges a bit.
But that's interesting, man. That's very interesting. Sorry, we're just geeking out, guys. Anyways, back to the podcast.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
That's the one thing when it comes to having two creatives. It's like we just start talking about geeks and stuff, but kind of bringing it back to the reason why I got you on here is I definitely wanted to go back into exploring like your story with Charlie Brown Photography, and you've shared a lot about, you know, where you started, where you came from, the people that's inspired you to get on board, including your partner. But I wanted to kind of go through, like, you were talking a lot about being burnt out.
Yep.
And trying it, you know, more like encouraging other creatives out there to not get to the point of feeling burnt out. But let's be honest, we've all gone through that stage as creatives. If there was one, I guess, big part of your journey where you felt like you're at your lowest as a creative, where do you feel like that was for you?
Ooh.
That you're open to sharing?
I think it was I think it was just one. I think it's because I did like 3 events.
Oh, bro. Night. Yeah. I actually, like, was this like, what, a couple months ago? Was it? Or last year? Or was it like, last year, it was last year, yeah. I think it was one time, I think I seen, on your story, and I was like, right, I saw this guy done like back to back, and then didn't get enough sleep. But yeah, go ahead, you can share.
So basically, I did 3 events in the one night, and obviously, like, people will be like, oh, yeah, that's too much if they're more experienced, but I didn't care. This is my story, okay? So basically, I did 3 events. So I was at a community event in the early in the day, and so the thing was, I ended up getting told off because then I was there to film for a client, but the thing was, he didn't tell the head organizer about it to get me on, and so I kind of got a bit of flack for it.
Damn, man.
And then he didn't end up paying the amount that I asked for, and it was like only like it was a little bit of money. It would have been chump change. For me.
Yeah.
But he was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna pay you this much because then you didn't get the content that I wanted." And then I was like, I just left it as that because then I didn't want to retaliate because there's no use of trying to retaliate that because then it was just really a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I had to go from, I think it was at Maryland. I was all the way in Maryland. I had to trek it all the way to Penrith. So that was for 21st. 21st was great. I got to see some friends there. And it was awesome. It was a great event. And after that, I wanted to go and help out because Wayno was in town. Wayno, JMs and all that was in town. And till the wheel falls off. So I ended up going from Penrith all the way to Bankstown at Replay. And so I was at Replay taking photos, and then I was literally at the end of the day, I was just dead. I think I was just more I was more upset with the fact of the treatment from the first one, and then that toppled all over. Obviously I couldn't put my best foot forward to do like the great work that I know I can do, but I just knew that there was a little bit of a drop in quality in like both of those events that I did. And so I felt like I was pretty at a low point where I was like, fuck, like, why does this have to happen? Oh, sorry if I swore. I'm sorry.
Sorry, talk about it.
Yeah, I just felt really like crappy about it because I was like, why do I have to feel like this? Like, I didn't deserve to be told off, and
because there was a miscommunication.
Yeah, because of this miscommunication, like, and that shouldn't have affected me as much as it did, because then that I guess it wasn't my fault, but my partner just pulled me to the side and was like, it's okay, just any more gigs, it's perfectly fine just for you to just relax and then just stay home and do nothing, be a potato. That's what I did. I became a potato, and it was great. And then after that, and then I was just slowly on my own. I think that was the good thing as well. She didn't force me to go, maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. She was like, all in your own time. And I think that's a really good thing as well, because she knows that I do prefer to do things like at my own leisure and when I'm ready. And so she really strives for that as well. So once again, shout out to my partner. I love you. And so I think as a creative, I think for me anyway, you need to take your time and find your own way. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get to where you're going. As long as you're even just one step forward is more than enough to get you going. And so yeah.
That's crazy, man. 3 events that you went to. Obviously the first one was the bummer one. That affected the other two. But not even that, bro. Like, that's already a lot as it is.
Yeah.
But you would say that it was the first event, the situation that happened there that kind of flowed through.
And like, I just had because I guess that's when I tried my best not to get emotionally invested. Yeah. But I guess that's what toppled it over for that event, because if I didn't get told off or whatever, then that I wouldn't have felt like it was my fault, and I would have started overthinking and all that kind of stuff. But I guess I didn't want it to affect me, but it just did. Yeah. And I couldn't stop it, and like I said, it is what it is. Like, it happened, and like I learned from it. So I learned from it.
Well, speaking of the lesson, what was the lesson that you learned from that?
Just don't go to an event if he doesn't pay you.
100%, bro.
If they're not paying me, then like obviously I can do the passion projects and like stuff that I enjoy, and if it's people that like,
I love that passion projects. I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
So if it's stuff that I want to do, or like if I enjoy it, like I'm perfectly fine for working for free. I'm perfectly fine. But if you're being a dick about it, then I don't want to work with you. Yeah. Like, I can, like, don't rush me. Like, know the work's gonna be there, because my turnaround time, I do pride myself in my turnaround time. Yeah. My turnaround time is pretty solid. Yeah. Pretty solid. And for those 3 events, I'm pretty sure I got those done like a couple of days. I'm pretty sure like I edited all in like the one night. Yeah. And then I just had to sort them out. Like, put them. Yep. Send. But yeah, just make sure you get a deposit, guys. Creatives,
Haha.
Creatives, please. If you are at a level where you're comfortable with pricing your work, please do a deposit, like a 10-15% deposit at least. So then at least that they know that you're serious, and you know that they're serious, and then you get the work done. Yeah.
Deposits, bro. Oh, I love that you mentioned that because I learned that like myself, like the hard way, and I guess, yeah, man. I love that you mentioned that. Like the lesson that you got was the deposit because, that's probably one of the hard things. It's actually the hard thing about working on your own is that yes, everything's all on you, but at the same time, it's all on you.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is that you have the freedom to do what you think is right.
Yeah.
The only problem is you don't have control of your clients. You don't have the control of the other people that you're working with.
Yep.
And I love the fact that you mentioned about deposits because that's what kind of carries, I guess, a bit of like stability for yourself as a creative. Getting some sort of deposit that you hold on to, and it also it's more of an accountability thing too. Hey, it keeps the client accountable, but also yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, deposits.
Yeah. Deposit, guys. Do your deposits, creatives. You won't regret it. I swear. Except if you are new, okay, since we're talking about it.
Passion projects.
Yeah. Passion projects. There's nothing wrong with taking a passion project as well, because that's another way for you to learn, to work on your skills, and also just you can also network with others as well.
Yeah.
From your makeup artists, your hairstylists, your video editors, even if you want to outsource your work. Help is always a good thing. If somebody says that help isn't a good thing, then they are lying to you. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting a little help in your journey. Yeah, help goes a long way, especially when you're a creative. It does get a bit lonely on the road.
That's true.
It does get a bit lonely on the road, but if you have your friends there and people that are like-minded and can understand, or even if they don't understand it, as just getting it out there, I think that's a really good thing to have in your life, especially as a creative. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And it's crazy that happened not a couple months, but last year.
Yeah.
Back in 2023. And it's good, man. Like, the one thing I love about the journey of doing business and being a creative too and working on your own is that you get to learn a lot, not just about the business side of things, but you get to learn more about you.
Yeah.
And about like how you work. It's like there's so much stuff that I've learned through my own personal journey through business. And it's actually what got me into doing this podcast, which is the Behind a Brand, and trying to allow businesses to come in and brands to come in and have this conversation. Yeah. Because the conversation we have here is going to be very different to the conversations that you have out there.
Yeah.
Not only is it, free marketing and, you get to kind of bring yourself out, but essentially it gives you a platform to share your lessons and share like your stories. And so I wanted to go back to like your story. I just want to go back to what I wanted to talk about, which is the iPad days.
Yeah,
I want to talk about the iPad days. I cannot leave this podcast studio without talking about these iPad days. So, funny thing is, right, as I said, first impression that like when I first met you was like through sports, which is crazy because we don't play that anymore. And if anything, we're shooting content on sports.
Exactly.
We're just behind the lens. That's where I met you first. And but then the next time I was able to see of you was through Charlie's memory card.
Yes.
And when you just hear that Charlie's memory card, he knows straight away what I'm talking about.
Okay,
talk us through.
Okay, for all the listeners out there, so I first started my YouTube channel called Charlie's Memory Card. So the only reason why I chose that name, Charlie's Memory Card, is because I grew up playing the PlayStation 1.
Yo.
So I just thought,
yes, memory card, yes.
So that's why I called it. And plus CMC is actually a pretty cool thing as well. So I thought that was a cool way to let people know it's my work or whatever. But I started vlogging. Actually, for my YouTube channel, I started doing self-help videos.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, guys, girls. I was like, guys, you don't need a girl. Or something like it was so stupid. Like, and I'll be like, girls, don't go for a guy who does this, does that. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I was just talking out of my ass, really. And then I'll share it on my Facebook page, and then I'll tag all my high school friends to go watch it. It was so stupid.
And like this was during school, right?
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
like during school. Yeah,
Yeah.
this was during my year 12. Yeah,
Yeah.
HSC, and then I wasn't studying. I was making videos.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and-
correct me if I'm wrong, but you were at Chester Hill. Yeah.
yeah, good old.
Bro, this is when you know I've actually tuned into stuff.
Yeah, so I was there. So after high school, I did my first vlog. It was meant to be a catch up dinner for our high school, and then because we had like a year 12 like class of 2014. Be like, oh yeah, we're all gonna eat out at Rashes together, and then when the day came, barely anyone rocked up. And I was like, this was gonna happen. This was gonna happen. So we all just started laughing, but obviously we still ate there anyway. We're like, you know what, we're already here, might as well eat. And so I vlogged that, and then the next day, I had my first day at uni, and so I vlogged at my university when I'm just like going to my classes, and I even saw one of my workmates at the time because I was working at Kmart, and she's even in the vlog too, and like she's literally like the first frame, basically, and then after that, it just slowly, I started making more vlogs about mainly just going to like different events.
Yep.
From your Samoa days, your Tonga days, Cook Island days, Fijian days, and then I started vlogging about like birthdays, family gatherings, just random drink ups too. And I just thought that was a really cool way just to look back and be like, oh shucks, I don't remember that day. Remember you like fell on your face. And it's like, oh, I was like, I don't remember that. And then you just move it forward and see them falling on their face. But yeah, I think it was just another outlet for me to be, I guess, creative, because obviously that helped me in the long run to be like, oh yeah, maybe you could do this for vlogging. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But yeah, honestly, there's just what I recorded, like, and I look back at it and I'm like, damn, just like all the memories that I had there, like at the old house in Karama, just going to all these different events, who the people that I don't interact with anymore, who I still interact with. Like, I think the way that how I made it was just a nice way of just the easy access for anyone to watch, and they can have a peek at my life, and that's perfectly fine. Like, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, honestly, damn, I still got the iPad actually.
Oh, true.
I still got the iPad. The iPad's still up and running. Like, I can still record on it as well. And like, it's still got the same case too.
Yeah.
Like, the case is still all like broken and everything, but
yeah.
I still got the same case that I first used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I only found out recently because you mentioned like I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, that you used to vlog on your iPad, and that's when I was like, wow, that is quite impressive, because I think, because I've done vlogs myself, I think the very first vlog I'd done was with the actual like vlogging camera.
Yeah.
And you would know yourself like how intimidating it is to start with an iPad.
Yeah.
Or start with your phone. So like, this is my question. It's like probably more of a personal one.
Yep.
But how did you not feel intimidated to do it on your iPad and like walk around and be recording on your iPad? Because obviously it's not like a small phone where you can kind of, or like I've noticed a few creators out there that have like the GoPros or your DJI like Osmo cameras and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You had, like, you talk about having a camera like this, bro. You got twice like space, like literally an iPad, like recording. So
the iPad Air 2.
Oh, sorry, iPad Air 2.
And that's from Uni 2. Uni gave it to us as well. The university gave.
Wait. Was that a part of like uni? Like,
yeah,
like they gave that out.
Yeah.
As a because I ended up getting one too. I ended up getting the Surface Pro.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because I went to Western Sydney. For a bit, and they were giving out either, I think it was an iPad or a Surface Pro.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so I ended up getting a Surface Pro. I ended up breaking it, but it's fine. Like, it was given to us for free, so it's not like we're paying it back. But going back to the iPad days, like, how did you not feel intimidated to like record and stuff? Because man, it's quite impressive.
Honestly, I think I was just like, just grab them. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
I think I just kept on talking.
Yeah.
I think as long as I had something to talk about, or like even if it was just me just talking to her, like I'm perfectly fine with doing it. Obviously, it is a bit embarrassing,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I think because people like enjoyed watching it, like at the time when I did post regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were like, oh look, you're featured in this video. They tagged this person.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was like, oh, maybe people are just enjoying it. So, and then I just started posting on YouTube.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. Like, I find that so inspiring that you had an iPad that you're carrying around, and it's obviously bigger than my one, so yeah, just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it did hurt just carrying it like this. I was like, yo, what's up, guys? But like, at least I got like to put in more people in it as well. Bigger camera. I was like, oh yeah, sweet. There's a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
And then just recording it like with the front camera, so that made it easier to instead of just solely focusing on my big ass head. So, I was just like, yeah, just look at these guys.
Yeah.
And then, well, honestly, just I do miss it though. Not gonna lie. Like I was even trying to figure out if I was gonna, cause I am gonna start it up again just to post up like other vlogs, but
Yeah, like your journey and stuff. Yeah, documenting it.
yeah. So I do have like a photography, I guess, YouTube channel that I started, but I guess that's more towards just putting it, not obviously giving my advice, but just to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I see how I'm going so far.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's like more business sense, and then you have like your personal, which is the memory card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like probably another thing that sparks my mind of interest for you is the memory card, like Charlie's memory card, and then went from there to Charlie Brown Photography, and I was just like, definitely, like starting, like going from the start of 2015, where I guess essentially where your photography started, but going back a year before that when you're in year 12, like that's kind of like where I guess the video sense came in, and it's crazy how all of those can incorporate in your story to get to where you are now.
Yeah.
Where essentially your passion end up turning into receiving some sort of profit.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to just transition into the business side of things,
Yep.
because essentially that's the reason why we have the Behind the Brand, is to not only uncover the layers behind you as a person, but also like from your business and what you can give out to the people out there, you know, some inspiration or advice.
Yep.
So going with Charlie Brown Photography, right? So from a business sense, what is something that you've learned through your journey from going from like something that's like if I had to look at it like a passion project, right?
Yep.
Like turning a passion project into a profit project where you're actually getting money, you know, coming like through. How did that start for you?
Ooh.
So we're talking 2019.
2019.
That's when Charlie Brown Photography started.
Yeah.
Now, definitely doing passion projects, but when did you start to feel like you were able to finally charge?
So I would say. So when I first launched my page, so that was 2 years ago. So 2 years ago was probably when I first started. Like not when I first, but like I was already charging people even before that.
Yep.
But
I was like on and off.
yeah, it was on and off. And so I slowly started. I stayed with like a solid price. I was like, "Yo, this is what I'm comfortable charging." I was like $350, and then I told him straight up. I was like, "Just let you know, like, I'm not I'm not like full crazy like professional. I take these photos just for your convenience, and so you don't need to worry about having no photos because the photos are going to be there."
Yeah.
And so I think I would say 2022. Wait, or 2021 actually. I'll say 2021.
So after lockdown.
Yeah, after lockdown, and then just slowly try and build up on that. And I think the business side of things, it does get a bit tough. Just trying to like talk about everything. It's oh god, you can go into like a whole ass like podcast episode about it, but yeah, but just I guess that's when I would say that I started 2021, 22, and then just slowly had to build off from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you go through that transition of something that is your passion and your hobby, and you transition into a business, I think your mindset definitely shifts.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer doing it just for the fact that you love it, but there's also money involved.
Yeah.
And to kind of bring back that one gig that you had done, where it was like a community one, and obviously you didn't get like that kind of paid job. It kind of really hits you up, to like it kind of plays with your emotions.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
Especially when you're given the expectation of, okay, this is the job that I'm doing, and in exchange I'm getting like money in return.
Yeah.
And you're expecting that, and then something doesn't meet the expectation, and they're like, I'm not gonna pay you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think with that one, like, it was just a miscommunication.
Yeah.
And so if he did tell the person that was higher than him that they were bringing me on, then I wouldn't have gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
And plus, mind you, that day was horrendously hot.
Oh, bro.
It was one of those like 40 days.
Yeah.
And I was like
40 degrees.
And I was like, nah. And like, mind you, I was wearing like a hoodie. So it didn't make any better because I don't like wearing like shirts out in public. Obviously, I'll wear it, but like, I just prefer wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
But it's just if everything that they said, they even have the messages as well. Made sure it was okay. This is the price, and I can pay you. And then, since he didn't tell the person that were getting me on, that affected my business, and so that affected on what I could shoot as well. And so, if I didn't have anything, like if I didn't have anything to shoot, then I shouldn't have been there in the first place. So I was like, well, what can I do now? Like, I'm already here. Like, I might as well shoot something. So I did. The photos came out pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I guess I was a little bit petty in that aspect as well. I'm not gonna lie. And if you are creative, if you haven't been petty, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, you're lying.
You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You are lying to yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, that just really affected my mood, and like I said, just one thing can like set you off, and I really didn't expect it or want it to happen to me at the time, because I really did want to work with him, but it just stuffed me up for that one. So, and obviously, like, I don't care now. Like, I got over it.
Yeah.
But since I'm talking about it, it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that you mentioned that it's something that you've moved on.
Yeah.
But it's just like any wounds that you have, like on your body, the scar's still gonna be there.
Yeah.
So it's something that yes, you do let go of, but the scar's still there. So the reminder will still like pop up. But looking at that, okay, so that happened like last year.
Yep.
You're still doing content now.
Yep.
And you're still doing client work now. So what was for you the one thing, because you mentioned that you took a bit of a break.
Yep.
Yeah, like from that.
Yeah.
And then you jumped like that. Oh, sorry, you took a break and then you jumped back in.
Yep.
Now, usually in anything, that part of you getting back in is a lot harder.
Yeah.
So what was, I guess, the ignition for you or the spark to be like, oh, I'm going to get back in?
Okay, so what was I doing? I think, my one was more like, just network with him.
Yeah.
That was my way in.
The lesson learned, yeah.
And that was literally my ignition. So after that, I was like, just don't work for someone like him. Yeah. Whoop.
Yeah.
Then back into the fray.
Yeah.
And then that's how I just got started. Like I said, like I said, my girlfriend just feels like I'm really weird when it comes to this kind of stuff. She's like, oh, man, it's like, how do you get over it? I was like,
Yeah.
Then but honestly, I did just like have my time away.
Yep.
And then I just jumped straight in. I didn't care who I was working with. I was like, I'll just jump straight in because I might as well take that. I got to take that step forward.
Yeah.
As a creative, like, you can't just expect the client to come to you. You got to take the step
That's
forward.
true.
And even if it was like just for like you just going to a random sport event and just shooting content, like, you have to take that first step regardless. If you I'm not saying that you're not gonna make it, but if you just want to get better for yourself, just take a step forward. It's better than you just staying at the back, not moving, or going back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I totally agree with that, and that's the reason I was asking you that question of like, how did you get back in? And sometimes it's letting go of the emotional side of things and be like, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And just focusing on, all right, just get back in.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what you did. You just kind of just said, all right, brush it off. I'm not going to work with this person anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to go back in. But another thing I do want to add on to it is people are counting on you.
Yeah.
You know, there's actual clients out there that that you do enjoy doing work with that are counting on Charlie Brown to jump on. And I think I'm just saying this not only just because I'm doing podcasting, but I'm one of the guys that I've been seeing your journey, like behind the scenes, been following you for a while. I only noticed I was following through my business page and my personal page. I was like, oh, sorry, Ross. But I've definitely been following your journey like along the way, and I definitely believe that there are other people out there, and I know that there are going to be like either your current clients or past clients that are saying, like, we're definitely counting on you to keep doing it. So that's my encouragement to you, bro. You know, keep doing what you're doing. And I think one thing I'm really inspired about you, bro, is just your consistency. That you keep showing up. Even when, you know, things obviously right now is obviously different because you're currently going through a personal season of change. That's totally understandable. But like one thing I've noticed about Charlie Brown, this is like my impression of you. Obviously, I have my first impression, but my holistic impression of Charlie Brown is that he's a guy that just keeps turning up and very consistent with his content. So I think that's also a layer of who you are, like behind the scenes. It's not just you out there on social media and stuff posting up content, but it's also you, like who you are behind the scenes. So yeah, I thought I'd just add that in. Thank you. Yeah, bro. But we're gonna start wrapping up this podcast episode. How you feeling, anyways?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, this is hella fun, man.
Well, it's funny. I was telling Charlie. I was like, bro, I know this is your first one, but I definitely know that you're gonna enjoy
it. Yes, sir.
Because it gives you an opportunity to share, your story and stuff. It's kind of therapeutic too. Yeah. If you think of it.
It's exactly. Yeah. It's like free therapy.
Yeah. And the only thing and like an added bonus is that it's you have cameras and you have good lighting.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. With this softbox, man. Of course, you got the optimal angles and everything. Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Oh my gosh, man.
Oh man, but yeah, as you start wrapping up, man, I'm really grateful, bro. I've actually learned so much from you. I've learned more than what I actually know of you, just based on me following your journey and stuff. And so, just to kind of like wrap up this podcast episode, I wanted to ask you, what keeps like Charlie going? Like what keeps you going? Like we've kind of shared a bit about like your journey, but I really wanted to ask you, from Charlie being Charlie, not Charlie Brown Photography, not Charlie's memory card, but just Charlie himself, what keeps you going?
Oh, that's actually a really good question, actually. I guess what keeps me going, it's very cheesy, but my partner. Yeah. But I think that's a solid answer anyway, because she does believe in me, and obviously God's helping along the way too. Yeah. God, let's go. Yep. But on here, just my partner's the one that keeps me going, and obviously like the people that I meet along the way, that's also like a nice, that's a nice thing to have as well. But I guess my main thing is just having my partner there. Yeah, because honestly, if I was still single, I'm not too sure if I would have kept on going. Yeah. I would have been a streamer, actually. I would have been a streamer. So a different kind of avenue. Yeah. But, yeah, I would have been a streamer. But, like I said, having good people surrounding you, I think that's a good way to keep you motivated. Obviously, family as well. Just keep yourself grounded. And just having goals, I guess. I think that's what's keeping me going as well, because I do want to buy stuff that I want. Yeah. And I'll be like, oh yeah, look, I've reached the goal. And I think that's what's keeping me going as well. But mainly just my partner. Yeah. Very simple. And plus the food too.
I love that, bro. For all the polys out there, they'll definitely know, bro, that.
Oh god. But yeah.
So yeah, your partner, man. And I love that, man, because I'm quite the same too. You know, I think about my fiance and I'm like, bro, it's definitely humbling to know that you have that as your reason why you keep going. Yeah. At the same time too, it keeps you grounded to be like, all right, this is the reason why. For example, let's say there's a job that you got to do and it requires like a hefty amount of time, hefty amount of investment, and then you got to charge. Yeah. It's like, it gives you that grounding of like, no, I got to do it because I've actually got, number one, my partner to feed, and knowing that like in this current season that you're going through, I guess like your way of like charging. Obviously, you're still gonna keep up and stuff, but
Yeah.
you're probably gonna be more grounded because you have that, you know,
Yeah.
the house to pay for.
Yeah.
Not the house, but like you have your own personal things that you're gonna invest into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that, man. I definitely love that. So I wanted to ask you, like, just to finish off with the business side of things.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be people on here from a creative standpoint that are probably going through what you're going through,
Yeah.
and they're wanting to probably know more about, I guess, how to take that next step.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what piece of advice could you provide for them from a business standpoint? I know you've mentioned a bit about like deposits and stuff, which is actually a really good advice. But other than that, like, what's one piece of advice that you can give to people out there?
I think my piece of advice is just to keep learning, and learning and practicing. I think the first step is to, obviously continue your journey as you are, but also enjoy it as well. Because as like you can like learn as much as you can about like for example as photography, but if you're not enjoying your own experience and like learning from it, then what's the use? You can't really you can't really feel like you're accomplishing your own goals if you don't believe it yourself. So I think just believing in yourself and just to keep on working. Just the normal standard stuff. Just keep on creating as well, and reach out. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help, because people need to understand that as a creative, you're going to need the help, and there's nothing wrong with asking for help for a little, a second opinion, or having somebody help you edit something. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, because as creators, we need to be together and move together, instead of just one person going all the way in the front and then all the rest of us at the back. We won't strive forward fast enough or even well enough if we're not together. So yeah.
Well, all right, that's it. That's all we got now, Jay. We're just gonna finish up there. Nah, but bro, Charlie, man, thank you so much for jumping onto the podcast. Your very first one too.
Thank you.
Definitely, there's gonna be much more coming through. And what we do here at the Behind the Brand is we actually get the previous special guests to ask a question for you.
Okay.
And so our previous special guests, the question that they have for you is, if you were to start all over again, what would you do differently?
If I was to start all over.
Yeah, so obviously it's a generic question, but like if you had to start like Charlie Brown photography again, like what would be the one thing that you do differently?
Honestly, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change how I did everything, because I had to make those mistakes along the way. Because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah.
That's it. So yeah, you'll definitely have the opportunity to ask the question for our next special guest.
Yeah.
But for those out there that are wanting to know more about you and to connect with you, what is the best way to connect?
You can connect with me on Instagram at Charlie Brown Photography. Charlie with two eyes.
Yeah.
Then you'll see a photo of me holding a camera, but I probably need to change it to something more distinguishable, because then I guess everyone has a photo with a camera. Maybe I'll just get like a cartoon picture of myself. I think that'll be solid. It'll be, it's him. Yeah.
So Instagram.
Yeah.
So for those out there that are watching this on our YouTube channel, make sure you guys check down in the links down below. I should have got him to do it, because he used to do that back in the Charlie memory card days.
Oh, man.
On the iPad too.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those out there that are tuning in, make sure you guys check in. The link will be down in the description down below. But for those out there that are listening on our Spotify platform, make sure you guys check our Instagram page, and you'll be able to connect with Charlie Brown. But other than that, thank you so much, Charlie, for jumping on. Is there anything that you want to share before you wrap up?
I love you guys. I guess no. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and can't wait to see what your brand and what you come up with in the future, man.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Grateful, man. Thank you so much, man. And thank you guys all so much for jumping on, and thank you, Charlie, for jumping on too. And guys, we'll see you in the next episode.